$1,675. One engineer is $4,200, and one engineer is $2,000.
Colin, I have a question because George, I asked George about this, and he said it was 3 balconies, and here it says 4. So could we get clarification from George? Is it 3 or is it 4? Because here it's charging us for 4 balconies.
3 balconies, and in one balcony is two cracks. 4 cracks fixed.
So
4.
The bid is for 4. I was under the impression there were 4 balconies, and I have had the engineers inspect 4 balconies.
Okay, I guess it's going to be up to the code enforcement official. If he wants 4, I guess he gets 4. If he wants 3, he gets 3. But we're going to do our best.
I'm kind of concerned about it. Like, if it's 3, why would we pay for 4? Did you find another one out there that was done previously? And I mean, why would we pay for 4 if it was 3?
There's a bunch of those. Just wait.
But it says 4 balconies.
3 balconies is 4 cracks. 2 and 1. You got another 1.
Okay.
And one balcony is 2 cracks, and the other one, 2 more is 3.
I walked the engineers through 4 balconies when I had them on property.
Correct.
I'm not comfortable voting for 4 balconies if we're being told it's 3. And so we're going to be charged an additional 25%. If it's 3 and we're paying for 4, we're spending 25% over what we should be paying. It makes no sense.
I think that's probably a mistake, because I was there when we were walking around with the...
In that case, I think the appropriate motion at this point would be a table to get clarification on how many balconies it is. Because...
Then we're going to need a special meeting because the city wants us
Right,
to...
you should make a motion. You should make a motion that has criteria in it, so that when we can meet that criteria, we can act.
Yeah, the city official Randy, he wants it now. He's very adamant.
Tom, could you kind of fill us in on what the last communication you had with Randy and what he said?
I just did, just a minute ago. I met with him, he came in, I told him we were going through the process of the engineering of the balconies. He said, okay, I really want to get a permit open. I explained to him that we wanted to not put the cart before the horse and understand what's wrong before we put it out to bid. He was in agreement, but he's eager to have a permit open.
I mean, specifically, did he give a date? I want it by such and such a time.
He said to me today, specifically, I don't want this to go 30 days.
Okay, I have an idea. We have probably about 50 or 60, God knows how many, bad balconies. It doesn't stipulate which ones. You can pick one more. Just pick a 4. If there's only 3 at the Zurich right there, just pick another one.
But that still doesn't solve the problem, because we're paying in excess because we're getting...
You pay for 4 balconies and you're getting 4 balconies.
No, because it doesn't work that way. We're paying more, and we're only doing a small amount of balconies.
You still have the engineering thing of it.
Well, we have to do it. Those balconies, doesn't matter if it's 3 or 4, the city is demanding that right now.
I think it's a question of economies of scale. If you do 4, like let's say there's actually 30 throughout the association that we need contractors for. Let's say there's 30. If we're going to only do 4, the price per unit is going to be about double what it would be if we did all 30.
When you buy
So if we add on 1 more, we're still going to be paying double the unit cost.
I understand, but then you change the subject. We have to act on this yesterday. Unless you're ready to vote on $100,000 of doing 60 balconies.
No, I understand, but George is saying there's only 3. Mistakenly, there's 4 on there. So you're saying let's throw a 4th in at a very high cost.
Okay, the very high cost you're mentioning is $1,600.
I know, proportionally. I don't.
Okay, so I strongly feel that we should.
And that covers all. That covers all 4.
Yes. Okay, it's $1,600. We get the city off our backs. We get the process started, and it makes no sense to delay this. And if it is 3 instead of 4, I'm sure whoever we choose is not gonna charges for what they don't do.
Or put a max on it, like Colin said, you know, not to exceed 900 and whatever, or 350, whatever.
So do we have a motion or? Okay, I make a motion
I make a motion to accept, I'm gonna butcher this name, Shaban Engineering Consultants for the 4 balconies in question at a price of $1,675. If there is less, then we would be able to decrease that cost by a proportionate amount.
I second that motion. Any discussions on the board?
Well, there's discussion on the board first. If there's nobody else, I think I've made my objections clear in the past on how this entire situation came about. And I just feel like the fact that this entire situation didn't have to happen if our manager had been doing his job and actually following...
Okay, audience, I need you to be quiet.
And actually following our board direction.
Okay, let's call the roll here.
Which was to do...
Let's call the roll.
Let me just finish. Which was to do one. But I'm not going to rehash that whole thing. It's basically the reason why I'm not going to vote for this.
You have a motion on the floor, we need to talk. There are other balconies that need to be replaced, and this has recertification according to...
I don't think you're supposed to be here, man.
Oh, I'm right here, and I can
Okay, let's call the roll, please.
Wait, there's a motion. There's a motion on the table.
Yes.
That's what we're gonna vote on.
No, the unit owners now have a chance.
That's right.
You can prevent
There is a good welfare right after.
No, that's not the way it works.
You can stop us from voting on minutes and stuff, but if there's a motion on a contract, you cannot stop unit owner participation.
Okay, so let's put I agree with you, Marvin, but let's put a 10-minute stops on it, because I can feel that this is going to go for hours.
We'll go as long as you win.
So, let's put a 10-minute top on it, and everybody gets 1 or 2 minutes.
He is right, they're allowed to speak, but you're allowed, as the president, to determine when that is. If it's for good and welfare, you could talk about it for 3 minutes.
Why is the lawyer here?
We're getting to that. He's on the agenda.
Oh, it is? Oh, it's on the agenda. No, I didn't
I want
know
to be
that.
fair, but it's 8:30 at night, and this is going to go for another hour of going back and forth.
That's the way it goes.
And nobody's objecting.
We're here for the end, so we're not here till midnight. That's simple.
Okay, right now it's 8:30. You cannot go past 8:40, so whoever wants to speak, but we're going to stop at 8:40. Colin, she lost the right to be here.
Like everybody else. You know what? According to the recertification,
You're out of order, ma'am. Sorry. Colin.
Wait. We didn't ask Jerry to leave, so we let Morrissey say she said she was going to be quiet. I had the conversation with her. She said she was going to be quiet.
I'll tell you what. Let's just wait until good and welfare to the end then. This is going to be ridiculous. I'm just trying to avoid a circus. Okay. Let's go ahead and call the roll, please.
Whatever happened to transparency? Whatever happened to transparency?
This is like a circus. I mean...
Yeah, you're in charge. You're serving.
Okay, wait a second. As much as everybody wants to speak, I understand that.
On a motion.
Let him speak.
Let him speak.
As I meant,
On a motion.
Okay, that lady she was removed from the place, so I don't think she can be here. So,
but at the same time, there were other people in here that I did not remove when I saw that she had not left. So to be fair, I can remove everybody who was speaking, or.
But she was out of order. So let's get rolling, Colin, please. Somebody wants to speak, please let them speak. 10 minutes.
Who would like to speak?
Please. 5 million. And Colin, this has to be on the topic, okay? It has to be on the motion topic. You understand that, Miriam?
Yes, I sure do.
Okay.
I have a question. The balconies. You only going to fix 4 balconies? What about all the rest of the balconies that need repair? We just forgot about those? How many balconies are there?
61.
There's 61 balconies. What about the other balconies? What are we going to do with those?
This is not about that, Miriam. This is about the balconies that the city is demanding us to fix.
You're fixing 4, but what about the other ones?
Due time.
That's a different subject.
Due time.
Any other questions? Any other questions?
Okay, so no more questions. Let's call the roll, please.
John?
John voted no.
Can you talk into the microphone, please?
Marcio?
Yes.
Doc? Mark?
Yes.
Francis?
Yes.
Colette?
Yes.
Wendy, yes?
Thank you.
Next item.
I just want to point out that everybody was screaming to talk and then only Miriam spoke, so I don't get it, but whatever.
Publish the result of the vote, please.
5-1.
Pass 5-1 with the omission of Dov.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the landscape contract.
So I was presented with another landscaping contractor that came to visit the property in the last month, and they have come in with a bid of I'm sorry. They've come into a bid of $35.50 monthly. We did the research on this company and checked some of their references. Sorry. And they are accredited and they have worked for some good associations, and we had spoken with people, so they came back very positive. We then took the information and went back to the company that we have just engaged, Lawn Logic, and said, Lawn Logic, this has just come to our attention. How would you like us to proceed to see if they were able to come down and meet a number? Lawn Logic has yet to get back with us. So my suggestion to the board is that they make a motion that if Lawn Logic does not respond to us back by the 28th, I think we said, the 28th of April, that we will give 30-day notice to Lawn Logic on May 1st and try and engage the new company for June 1st.
Is this company fully insured?
Yes, they are, Francis.
I'll make that motion.
I second it.
Mark has a question.
If you act on this, I understand that Lawn Logic is gave us a month free. I understand that Lawn Logic gave us a free month.
No, it's broken down.
How do you propose to work that into the agenda? Do you think it's only fair that we give them their 2 months fee and when we fire them after the second month? What do you feel?
When we signed the agreement with Lawn Logic, or we engaged Lawn Logic, we did not ask for the month free. We asked them to prorate that over a 12-month period. So they did not, in fact, give us a month free. They did prorate their rate.
Okay.
And I did have a conversation specifically with the owner of the company who faced with this situation.
And Mark, that's exactly why I personally requested Lawn Logic not to give us the free month, because we want to be able to get the best bid.
Okay.
I don't want any favors or so we get strings attached.
Marcio, just point of order. There is no second, so we can't discuss until we get a second.
I second.
Oh, I didn't hear.
I second it, yes.
I had asked the question as to whether or not this company is fully insured. Are they?
Yes, Francis, they are fully insured, and the references are with associations that are of high quality.
How many employees do they have? Because 4 isn't getting it done, so.
That is an excellent question. He mentioned to me that he was thinking of using a crew of 6 here on this property, but this company is not a small company. To to make the question bigger, this company is not a small company, it's not a mom and pop company. They operate very large associations, primarily in the Aventura, Miami-Dade area, but they do operate numerous large properties.
In comment about that, where we almost hired somebody who had 4 workers, yesterday, Lawn Logic was here. I counted in the Bordeaux area 15 people taking care of the leaves. Not only were there 15 people that were up in that quadrant for at least an hour or an hour and a half just doing leaves, but there were another 6 or 8 down in this quadrant over here. The concept that a landscaper can take care of this place with a minimal crew, I think is just ridiculous. And you get what you pay for, and I think one of the things, if we're considering, they did a wonderful job yesterday. The place looks great as far as I'm concerned. And I think before we jump to someone else, we ought to find out how many people they're going to commit to this place and how much time they're willing to spend. Thank you.
Mark, I agree with you 100% on this item. Colin, is there a way for us to make sure that, I mean, the only reason that these people came in is because they put us back almost on budget, and our responsibility to the village is that final number in the end of the year. I mean, Lawn Logic is, I believe, $15,000 give or take over budget, which we cannot accept. So we do care about quality, and I am extremely happy with the quality of Lawn Logic that we got in the past year, 2 months or 1 month, whatever it was, 1 month. And we want to make sure that if we're going to save that money and can go back in budget, we expect the same quality.
I can't speak to that. I can say that there's certainly an expectation, and I can certainly do the job of trying to get us to that level of expectation. Lawn Logic came in, for my opinion, because I don't know them from never met them before, but they came in with a point to prove, and I think that that's why they've tried to get the property up to where it lives at. But I can't speak to what the new company is going to do. I can say that the references that we checked were positive.
I think
I have a comment that is on subject, but not necessarily pertinent to the contract. And that is that the Lawn Logic crews are staying too late on the property. And nobody appreciates having leaves blown, noise at 6:30 and 7 o'clock in the evening, as has been happening with Lawn Logic.
Yes, Francis, and that was addressed with them after the first visit. They did, with the crew that was here last week, they did stop precisely at 6 o'clock. But yesterday they kind of went past. I had planned to have that conversation with the Lawn Logic manager when he calls me back.
So we are complaining that they are working too hard. They're working. Okay.
Another question on this one. I didn't see that it includes leaves. Does it include leaves? Their contract?
The conversation did. The conversation included leaves. If it's not in the contract, I will make sure the contract's amended so that it does say that specifically.
Okay, because that's the biggest issue. On Lawn Logic, I have a thing. Can you please ask them? Literally, I was surrounded when I parked my car yesterday by 10 of those guys blowing leaves and debris all over my car. I couldn't even get out as they are blowing things. I mean, this will sound nasty, but I have a nice car. I wash it every single week. I take care of it. I do not need them blowing leaves and rocks all over it and dirt. And the fact that I couldn't even open my door to get out was like insane. So just one, you know, they need to watch for people, because also if a rock would have hit me, you know, that wouldn't have been a good thing.
I will make sure that's addressed as well.
I had the same experience. There must have been 5 guys blowing the leaves in front of Yorkshire. And I was trying to get the groceries out of my car and get out of their way, and the car was covered with debris. It was really disgusting.
That's a good time to test your horn. Make sure your horn works.
Are there any other questions from the board?
And Any other discussion on the board? Okay.
Wait, Colin, so you don't know how many people, what the size of their crew is? It's just a guess that it may be 6 or 7.
No, I remember him saying that there was a crew of 6 here, but I don't know the size of their company. And let me rephrase that because I want to make sure that I'm clear in what I'm saying. I don't know the size of the company, but I do know that they are more than just a 1 or 2 crew company because they have various properties of varying sizes.
Okay, right now it's 8:42. How about 10 minutes for the membership to speak? It's only 3 people. Usually they talk for 45, so 10 minutes is quite fair.
A quick question. What are we paying now, and what's the new rate on the new company that you're checking? I lost that.
$700 a month.
We're paying $42.50 now, and you're paying $35.50 is the new proposal.
But LoanLogic contract price is actually $4,500. So on their renewal, they gave us a little discount in the beginning, but the actual price is, yeah, but the renewal will be $4,500. This company came in at $35, which is almost $1,000 less permanently, like no, that will be the renewal price.
I have a question. Isn't LoanLogic the company we had before? We had a problem them not getting the leaves off the grass areas. They were neglecting. Is that why we got rid of them? No. Last time they were here. I think that was one of the issues. And I drove around today, and I noticed on the fountain side, there was big piles of leaves sitting there. Are they still there?
No.
Oh, they're gone. But they didn't pick them up. Who picked them up?
They picked them up.
The maintenance crew.
They came back today.
Oh, they did come back today. I see. And I do have a problem with the blowing issue. Not only they blow the leaves all over your car, but also outside the patio areas, they just blow everything all over the place, all over the screens. And I have to go out there and clean it up.
Okay, I'll personally tell them to pick up one by one. They won't blow it anymore.
Thank you for letting me speak. Okay, this is about the parliamentary procedure here. So far, I understand corporate secretary, who is Ms. Wendy, is corporate secretary. Okay, she is responsible to file all documents, including minutes and everything. Okay.
This is about the landscape, sir.
No.
It's about the landscape.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, ma'am, but you got kicked out of here. Sorry. You gotta learn how to behave. Next time, just be respectful next time, and then you can talk.
Marcy. Okay. Anybody else that would like to speak from the audience?
Okay. Let's call the roll, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you.
That's okay. He was hesitant.
Hesitant? I'm sorry.
I just want to say that I live outdoors, and really the lawn's just been hell. I spoke to you about how happy I've been with it, but I gotta say that LoanLogic, it's nice out there today. It really is. And in terms of our value, having a good looking ground gives curb appeal, which is a pretty high factor in the value of our property. You want to sell it? People say, this looks good. I would rather live here than over there.
I agree with you, yeah. Thank you, bro. All right, call the roll, please.
What are you voting on? Just read the motion.
What's the motion again, please?
John's.
Motion was to approve the new company pending a response from LoanLogic if they can come in at the same price.
No, that wasn't a motion.
Marcio?
Yes.
Wendy, yes. Dolph?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mark?
No.
Colette?
No.
Francis?
No.
Motion passed 4-3.
I really hope they do a good job, because I also appreciate the quality of Long Logic, and I really think they did a good job, but it's $15,000 in the budget, and we are giving Long Logic a chance to match. We hope to keep them, but if they can match it, that'd be great.
I still have my lawnmower if things go south.
That was funny.
Okay.
We talked about not talking.
All right, next item on the agenda is change of legal counsel. Do we have any motions on the table?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to change our attorney of record from Eisinger to Stephen Katz.
Are we hiring an individual or are we hiring a firm?
Could you speak to that?
Yeah, it's actually going to be the firm, but I will be the front man. It's very unlikely that you'll ever meet anybody.
Get the microphone, please.
That's okay.
Let me rephrase the motion. The motion now is to change our legal counsel from the Eisinger firm to the firm of, can I help with the pronunciation? Kubicki Draper. Thank you. Any second?
What's the cost? Wait a second.
Any second?
They need to talk first. Okay, discussion on the board.
Is there a second? Yeah.
Any discussion on the board?
Yes, I have a question. I notice in the information passed out by the attorney, where they list the various attorney fees, and they show their cost for collections, the cost of collection letters and preparing the claim of liens, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.